Are you tired of feeling like you're waiting for a signal? You keep telling yourself that you'll start your project, your health journey, or your business once you have more time, or once the conditions are perfect. But here is the truth that right time is a trap designed to keep you exactly where you are. Today we're breaking that cycle, and I'm going to show you how to move forward even when life is hard. Why does it feel so paralyzing to just begin? We often mistake comfort for security. We tell ourselves we're just preparing, but in reality, we are trapped in a cycle of avoidance. You've likely felt that sting of looking back at a week or a month and realizing you haven't moved an inch because you were waiting for the fear to go away. But here is the secret that many successful people don't tell you. The fear never actually goes away. They just learn how to act in spite of it. It's time to stop letting not feeling ready be the reason you never start. To shift your momentum, you need to adopt new, silent habits that quietly build your foundation while everyone else is still waiting for the right time. First, embrace the micro-win principle. Most of us fail to start because we suffer from goal overload. We look at the top of the mountain and get dizzy. We think about the entire project, the massive fitness transformation, or the new business. And our brains naturally recoil because the task feels too heavy. The micro-win principle is the antidote to this paralysis. It is the practice of breaking down your grand ambition into actions so small they are impossible to fail at. Why it works? When you aim for a macro win, like, I'm going to change my whole life today, you create massive pressure. If you don't do it perfectly, you feel like a failure, which triggers the habit of quitting. The power of dopamine. Every time you complete a micro-win, you give your brain a small hit of dopamine, the chemical associated with achievement. This creates a feedback loop where you feel successful because you are successful in that moment. Remember, you aren't trying to finish the race in one day. You are simply winning the next 10 minutes. When you stack enough of these, you eventually realize you've climbed the mountain without ever feeling the exhaustion of the climb. The second silent habit is what I call the 5-minute rule. We've all been there. You have a daunting task sitting in front of you. A project, a workout, or a difficult conversation. And the mental weight of just thinking about it is 10 times heavier than the work itself. The myth of motivation. We often wait until we feel like it to start. But motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will rarely get the important things done. The 5-minute rule flips this. It's not about waiting for the feeling. It's about creating the momentum first. Lowering the barrier to entry. When you tell yourself you have to work on something for 4 hours, your brain perceives it as a threat, a drain on your energy and time. But if you tell yourself, I am only going to do this for 5 minutes, and then I'm allowed to stop, you remove the threat. The barrier to entry becomes so low that it's almost impossible to say no. Breaking the static friction. In physics, the hardest part of moving an object is breaking static friction. That initial force needed to get something from a standstill into motion. Once you break the seal of starting, you'll find that the resistance vanishes. The result. Most of the time, once those 5 minutes are up, you won't want to stop. You'll be in the flow state, the fear will have dissipated, and you'll realize that the anticipation of the pain was far worse than the actual work. It's the ultimate hack to bypass your own procrastination. The final, and perhaps most critical, silent habit is reframing failure as data. The emotional weight of failure. We are conditioned to treat failure as a verdict on our character. When we fall short, we tell ourselves, "I'm not good enough," or "This clearly isn't for me." This makes failure painful, so we naturally avoid it at all costs. But when you treat failure as a definition of your self-worth, you stop taking risks. Failure is neutral information. High achievers don't see failure as an end. They see it as data. Think of it like a scientist running an experiment. If the experiment doesn't yield the result they wanted, they don't call themselves a failure. They look at the data, see what didn't work, and adjust the variables for the next trial. The adjustment loop. When you detach your ego from the outcome, you can ask yourself, what did this result teach me? Maybe your plan was too ambitious, or you lacked a specific skill. That isn't a dead end. That is a specific, actionable instruction on how to get it right next time. Building resilience. Every time you reframe a failure into a lesson, you build a level of mental resilience that is impossible to stop. You start to see that there is no such thing as a total loss, only feedback. By viewing your journey this way, you remove the sting of rejection or mistakes, allowing you to iterate faster and move forward with clarity rather than fear. I want you to test this today. Choose one thing you've been putting off. Maybe it's a project, a conversation, or a personal goal. For the next 24 hours, don't worry about the outcome or if it's perfect. Just apply the 5-minute rule. Give it 5 minutes of pure, focused effort. You will see that consistency beats talent every single time, because while others are waiting for the perfect conditions, you are already miles ahead, simply because you didn't stop. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Growth isn't found in a single leap. It's found in the small, silent habits you practice when no one is watching. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Liv.eanyway for your daily dose of motivation. Now, what is one thing you're going to start today? Let me know in the comments.